Two things you got to do here. You can't let any thought slip by your awareness that you don't want to experience. That sounds really easy, except when you're in crisis or when you're in trauma, we tend to focus on the worst thing that could happen instead of the best thing that happened. I couldn't get my mind to do what I wanted it to do. The second thing is I got to make contact with this intelligence, and I don't know how to do that, but I think if I could give it a picture, a design, I can give it a template, and I can start from one place and reconstruct every one of my vertebrae without losing my focus. I'd have to be present the entire time to give it a very clear model of what I wanted. Every time I lost my focus and I started thinking, if I'm living in a wheelchair, should I sell my practice, should I sell my home, and I would stop and start all over again. I didn't know it at the time, but I was getting super present, and it got easier. Then I started noticing dramatic changes in my body, sensory-wise, motor-wise, and the moment I saw the changes, I knew that what I was doing was making a difference, and no one can talk me out of it now. I really want to spend the rest of my life living on addictive medications and having a limited expression of who I really want to be. And I think, you reach this point, it's a dark night of the soul. And the dark night of the soul is when you weigh what you know against what you don't know. And you realize that nobody has the answers to where you're at in your life but you. And at the same time, nobody actually gets you because everybody's clinging to the known and you're way out in the unknown and you're looking for evidence. Someone out there like, is anybody doing this? And it's so convenient to go back to the familiar. Yet, as I said yesterday, a lot of times when nothing is making that feeling go away, you can't go back. You just can't go back, and you got to trust in the unknown. And so there is an intelligence in the body that's giving us life, that's keeping my heart beating, digesting my food, organizing trillions of functions on a cellular level, mobilizing all kinds of different things, checking my DNA expression. It's a grandiose intelligence that lives within me. And that initiation, when I started to notice the dramatic changes in my health, changed me. I couldn't go back to being Joe Dispenza as he was. I could not go back to the same life that I had just been initiated through. I had to ask myself, what in the hell happened? And the cool part about it is nobody is so special to be excluded from that phenomenon. So the spontaneous remissions brought me to an understanding of, my God, we really do have to move from one state of mind to another state of mind. I mean, we have to unlearn and relearn. We have to break the habit of the old self and reinvent the new self. We have to prune synaptic connections and sprout new connections. We've got to unfire and unwire and refire and rewire. Deprogram and reprogram. Lose your mind and create a new one. Unmemorize emotions that have been conditioned and stored in the body, and then recondition the body to a new mind and to a new emotion. So the science then became the practical tools that we could speak with a lot more certainty. That's when I realized the mind was the most strongest component. In fact, I went back and studied neuroscience because I couldn't find the answers anymore. You create your reality? I get it. How do you do it? I thought it was a brilliant question. Next question is, okay, your personality creates your personal reality. Your personality is made up of how you think, how you act, and how you feel. If I want to change my personal reality, I got to change my personality. Nothing changes in my life till I change. How do we change? Why is it so hard to change? Science has become the contemporary language to demystify that process. And when I see the scientists running the same study over and over again, he's running the same study 5 times over again, then changing the study and running it a different way and getting the same result. I know he's changing his belief right there. I know she's changing her belief. They're looking for something else to occur, and it actually doesn't. This is new information. It's a discovery. And nothing's making that discomfort go away. It's time to evolve. It's time to make a different choice. And I clearly heard in my head during one meditation, stop making the same choices and pause. I didn't know what that meant, except that I knew that I was relying on all of this external stimulation to build an identity that I really wasn't. Do the work. We do the work, not like, oh, geez, I gotta go create my future this morning. I'm really tired. Don't expect anything to happen, because you're gonna get up as the same person who sat down. But the people who do this work and they see the novelty of coincidences and synchronicities and opportunities start showing up in their life, you bet they're going to jump out of bed in the morning and can't wait to do it again to see if the experiment continues. And when that starts to occur, you can't wipe the smile off your face. And your friends think you switched medications or you got a facelift or something happened to you. Something's weird about you. God forbid you're happy without them. You know, like all of a sudden, what's going on with you? And the people in our community are doers, and I love that because the experiment always continues. It's not like, well, how come I'm not healed? I can't say that anymore. Once you're aware of possibility, there's a change in consciousness.